professional dancer, choreographer, and I've done a lot of things in my time. And so I've been dancing for 20 years, choreographing for almost that length of time. So a lot of Filipino families, many that I know, we kind of have like some toxic upbringing. And I was just raised in a way that they raised me in a way they were raised. You know, most of the cast were b-boys or they were breakers, and I was one of the only non-breakers. Just that gig inspired me to get into breaking. I hope to inspire the world globally that no, it is not too late to pursue something.
Welcome to another episode of the Bigg Umbrella Podcast. That's big with 2 G's. I'm going to repeat that. That's big with 2 G's, the Bigg Umbrella Podcast. And I want to welcome on Melissa Adele, also known as BgirlMel. What's going on?
Hey, happy to be here, Mike.
I appreciate you for even going on. Like I was telling you earlier, we basically kind of grew up in the same area, South Bay.
Wild.
I always like to start this off, like, where did you grow up in? I know, obviously, but where'd you grow up in San Diego?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in San Isidro. So it was a predominantly Mexican neighborhood. All my friends are Mexican.
As we know.
But I mean, you know, it wasn't really a big issue. I had a lot of nice friends, and we're all still friends till this day. We keep in touch. Thank God for social media. And yeah, I mean, I loved it. I still go, my mom still lives there. My brother lives with her. So yeah.
That's the same for me. Like I still got friends in South Bay that I know to this day. Like I'm linking up with some friends from then, from 16 years old that I knew from back then to now. So definitely, and I have no problems.
Right, and I also wanted to like say that it's so interesting because we were also just talking about how living in San Diego, it's rare to find people who are born and raised in San Diego. That people who we kind of interact with, they're transplants from another city, or you know, like you said, they're in the military. So I mean, this city draws people, you know.
100%.
Yeah, but I know we kind of are in the same place where like we are planting our roots here. This is the city.
Yes. If you don't know, now you know. Yes, definitely.
To retire.
100%. And I mean, everybody, and I mean, I know they kind of go LA, San Diego, but definitely I would say retire San Diego. People love to come to San Diego to retire.
Or even staycation. I actually just had a friend message me because she's staying at the Marriott. I had a show yesterday at the San Diego Convention Center, and she knew something was going on, but she didn't know I was a part of that. And she said that she's there for a staycation, and she lives in LA.
And what was that show?
So I'm a choreographer for the San Diego Zoo Safari Park for their spring safari. And there was this big performance at the convention center for their CEOs, their donors, some of the employees for the park. And I choreographed their opening number. So
God. Was that nerve-wracking for you?
It was fun. It was really fun. I mean, I'm a choreographer, so this is my job. I think the only nerve-wracking thing is just like making sure all of the dancers have the right schedule to come together. But once everyone's together, everything aligns.
So you never worried about like, oh, got to make sure we got these steps right. You're like,
well, I mean, of course. Well, I hire the right people, so I don't have to worry.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I make sure that the right people are coming into this job that know what they're doing. They're professional, they're skilled. And so I don't have to worry, you know, because I don't want to worry about, do you have the steps? I just need to worry, we need to do this vision.
Right.
You know
exactly. I don't need to worry about, we're going to get it done.
Yeah, we just need to get it done and get it done with the highest integrity.
And we're going to definitely touch on how you even got on that, and you being a woman in it and everything like that. But for you even starting off, like how was growing up for you like in South Bay? And do you have siblings?
I do.
You said your brother.
I have a half brother and a half sister. My half brother lives with my mom, and my half sister lives in Delaware. So I'm an only child from my mom and dad.
I'm an only child. So.
Yeah. So, but I'm still. I actually just developed my relationship with my siblings within the last year. Like we just like bonded tighter. And it was because my dad passed away last May. But you know, with that unfortunate incident, a blessing came out of it, and it brought us closer together, which I hear happens a lot. So, but I mean, rest in peace to my dad, but I'm really glad that we're close because I feel like we only have each other now.
Right. So with you growing up as the only child, what's that like transitioning now for you having half brother, half sister, anything like that?
It's so interesting.
Does it still feel like you're an only child, or
no?
Okay.
As well, especially within the last couple of years, because I feel that I have this sense of responsibility to somehow take care of my siblings, and I'm not saying like financially, which I kind of do when they need help,
Mhm.
but like to also, make sure that I have the right mindset, lifestyle, integrity to live my life so I can model the way I feel like it's good to model a life,
Mhm.
like I want to be, basically what I'm trying to say is I want to be a good role model to my siblings now, because I just want them to feel like, okay, I can trust my sister. If I need anything, I am safe and comfortable to go to my sister if I need to talk to her about anything, because we never had that before. So I'm trying to create some type of like a relationship where it's like, yes, you can come to me if you feel like, you need anything. It is a safe space to speak to me about anything.
With you growing up and not having that, what was that like to, I guess, for that support system? Where did you go for that?
Well, I didn't have that.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
And I know a lot of, I'm a Filipina. So a lot of Filipino families, and I'm not saying for all, but many that I
Right.
know, we kind of have like some toxic upbringings, and I'm just speaking for myself right
Right.
now.
And this is your story.
Yeah.
This is not all Filipino. I know y'all like,
Yeah.
no, this is what your
Yeah.
experience
Yeah,
is.
and to be honest, I am actually very open to share this on my social media. So for anyone who already follows me, already knows I share these stories and some of my experiences on what it's like just being raised as a Filipina and being raised in a toxic household. And it's traumatizing.
Right.
You kind of like have a lot of basically growing up in a toxic home where there's no love, no one says I love you, there's no like I have no self-worth, no self-acceptance, and I was just raised in a way that they raised me in a way they were raised. So it's like and I didn't understand that until recently, but I used to blame my parents for having the shitty life that I have, and I would be like, well, my parents raised me like this. Oh, well, my life sucks. This is how it is.
Right.
And I was just sick of living in a negative space. So it wasn't until my late 20s where I had to be like, okay, I'm done. I'm done living like this. Like I just kind of made that choice to change my lifestyle, change my mindset. And I'm still doing it. I'm going to be 44
It's always
next month.
It's always a student to life.
Yes. Yeah. And so I'm gonna be 44 next month, and I feel like
you would have never guessed.
Yes.
For real, shit, like you would have never guessed.
Yes. And I feel like I'm still working on that healing journey. I mean, like, look at my sweater, go to therapy.
There
That's
go.
Like
Let them know right now.
So and it is what it is. Again, when I say these things, I'm not like placing blame on Filipino culture. I'm not placing blame on my parents. I'm just sharing what my experiences were. And even though I had no control of how I was raised, I do have control on how I heal.
100%.
So I have to take it upon myself to be like, okay, well, what kind of life do I have? And what do I need to do so I can have peace and harmony with myself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what sprouted that change for you that it's like, okay, I see the route I'm going, and this is not it no more.
Okay, well, it's interesting you say that. So I know I was mentioning to Isaac because he asked me how long I've been dancing. So I'm a professional dancer, choreographer, and I've done a lot of things in my time. And so I've been dancing for 20 years, choreographing for almost that length of time. But I actually started breaking, so I was doing hip hop choreo, hip hop freestyle, dancing in a studio, also doing contemporary, jazz, all of those styles.
The works.
I mean, I was doing everything because I love it,
Right.
But when I turned 37, so it's funny because I was actually a performer for the nighttime zoo at San Diego Zoo right here. And our act was called the Funky Monkeys at the nighttime zoo. We were a hip hop group who performed with the Rock and Roar band at Nighttime Zoo. Anyway, most of the cast were b-boys or they were breakers, and I was one of the only non-breakers. And in my head, and I was like, what, 37 at the time, and because that was 2016, I was 37 at the time, and I was like, okay, I need something different. And just that gig inspired me to get into breaking. And so long story short, I got into breaking late, but I think because I got into breaking late, it actually made me uproot all the things that I was sweeping under the rug.
Yeah.
You know, all the trauma and all the things that I kind of like didn't want to address, you know, throughout my teens and my 20s and all of that. Now it's like, okay, breaking is making me realize that I need to address these things, because when you're a breaker, I mean, so first of all, I'm training to be this B girl at 37. So starting a dance that's youth dominated and
Right.
male dominated, well, not as much anymore, but that's youth dominated. So starting at a really late age, there are a lot of mental battles that I deal with, because like catching up, I'm battling people who could be my daughter. You know, like there's just a lot of things, like just a lot of, you know, confidence issues, comparison issues, like, you know, starting late, I don't know what to do, but I want to see results yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's like, I'm expecting this shit now.
Yeah, that's been, I have no patience, or I had no patience. So all of these things that I was struggling with, it wasn't even the dance that was hard, but it was the battle that was happening in my head of like, how do I stay confident? The patience, like trusting myself, trusting my journey, you know, being able to just to accept where I am and be like, you know what? Yeah, I may feel good and I may feel young, but my body's still in my 40s. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, and accepting that it takes longer to recover. I can't YOLO myself the way the younger dancers YOLO.
Right.
So all of these things puts me in a different bracket as a B girl because I'm older. And again, I'm not blaming my age or anything like that, but there's just some type of reality starting at a later age and trying to compete as a high level breaker. So with that, and knowing that I want to thrive in this, you know, it's like, okay, if I want to thrive, it's not the dance that I need to really train and get good at. I need to get good here and I need to get good here, because when my mind is right, then the physical will follow. It's not you drill the physical and get the physical right. You can have the best, and I know there are so many, and this not just dancers, I feel like it's people.
Right.
You can have the best athletes, the best dancers, the best artists in the world be great at what they do, but if they're not right here, their longevity may not exist as long as others when they do get their mind right.
See, that's a gem for right there. That's a gem right there. Definitely.
I mean, there's truth to that.
100%.
You know? So and you know and so yeah. So what I was saying, I think that's why breaking came into my life late, to help me address the thing. So it's the truth, where it's like dance saved my life, breaking saved my life, because it's helping me heal. It's forcing me to address things that need to be addressed, so I can be a better woman for my, you know, a better wife to my husband, a better community leader for this community, like local and globally, and perhaps making impact in the world, that you're never too old and it's never too late to start something and to thrive.
Exactly.
Because people are always saying like, you know, I don't know anyone out there listening too, but I hear this a lot. I'm too old for this shit. When people try something, like if they want to go to the gym, I'm too old for this shit. If they're even going dancing, I'm too old for this shit. Okay, maybe, but that's also your mind telling you that.
100%.
You know what I mean? So with how I approached breaking at a late age and how there's a lot of challenges that come with it, I hope to inspire the world globally that no, it is not too late to pursue something. You're never too old, you're never too late, but you actually, there's a lot of learning that's going to come up, and you also got to surround yourself with the right people that can inspire you and motivate you and be your cheerleader so that you can do it. And but yeah, so I know I kind of rambled on that.
No, not at all. And I always stress, like I love for people to like express themselves and keep that shit going. Like, that's why I'm not here to be like, oh no, there's enough. Like, no, I love that you're able to express all that. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. What even got you into dancing? What was that first step? That was like, this might be for you.
So I am born 79. So I was exposed to a lot of the early MTV. And, you know, when music videos were really popular on MTV. And then, you know, so during that time, you know, and even like hip hop, hip hop culture is still in its kind of early years, and they would have dancing in these music videos. So I would see these music videos, and I'm talking now specifically late 80s, early 90s, where New Jack Swing was starting to get really popular.
Okay.
And they would have a lot of dancers, like, Bobby Brown video, like even Joey
Right.
Watley, stuff like that. And even like in Living Color, I don't know if you remember that show.
100%. When they had the dancers come out and they over there.
I mean, yeah.
And Living Color. Oh, yeah. 100%. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So I would record in Living Color, and specifically to record the Fly Girl like scenes, and I would learn it. So I was one of those dancers that I would record, pause, play, record, pause, play. That was my dance class.
Wow.
And so for whatever reason, dance made me feel good, and dance was something that I enjoyed doing. I found myself like choreographing with my neighbors. We would just make up dances and perform them for our friends. I mean, I would be entering talent shows in elementary school. So dance has always been something that I was drawn to. I don't know if it's because I was good at it. Oh, oh my God. Okay. So
it just sparked it right now.
So, okay, I'm going to share something really quick. And this
100.
is all part of the healing and all of
definitely.
that. So I'm going to take, the story is going to shift a bit, but then it's going to share with you why I feel like dancing was such a big part of me.
Definitely. Give me that story.
Okay. So, okay. So with breaking, I had, it's a very competitive dance. And right now we're in a time where there's a lot of solo breakers, solo competitions where you're doing 1v1s. But I know when hip hop started and in the 80s, early 90s, even early 2000s, there was a lot of crew battles. So you got to battle with your crew and you got to be, together in this. But now, and especially with breaking going into the Olympics, I don't know if you knew that.
Damn, I did not.
So
You
breaking,
just put me on something.
so breaking is going to be in the Paris 2024 Olympics. It's going to debut.
Wow.
Yes. So it's an official sport.
Wow.
Yeah. And just last
That's
week.
came a long way.
Yeah. And just last week, they had the USA National. So even though that's not the official Team USA yet, we kind of are seeing like, okay, these are the potential dancers that are going to be. Yeah. It's heading there. Anyway. So during my entire breaking journey, and again, I'm still working on my healing, and I'm still the person that I want to see things yesterday. I put this insane amount of pressure to prioritize winning trophies than enjoying the process of training. And I don't know why I was obsessed. I was even telling my coaches, shout out to Eddie Styles, shout out to Wicket, shout out to my husband, Joshua. But I was like saying, I'm going to be the best B girl on the West Coast. I mean, whatever. I was just like, I was so determined to be the best B girl that I can be. And I was working really hard. And I felt that, in the short time that I was breaking, that things were happening. I was getting invites. I was doing pretty well. I was truly enjoying the training process. And even when I competed, I felt really good about myself. But there was just a point a couple of years ago where I was obsessed with getting a trophy. And I was like, I don't know why I'm so obsessed with wanting a trophy, because in the breaking scene, it's okay, you get a trophy and people give you love and people will acknowledge it, and you'll get all the compliments and the applause and the attention online. But then, there's a jam next week and someone else is going to win. Maybe the same person, maybe someone else. So with these breaking events, it's anyone's day.
You got to show up every time.
Yeah. And well, that's how it is now. And so, and people do have momentum. So anyway, going back to it, I was like wondering, why am I so obsessed with wanting to get a trophy? Like, what's wrong? Why am I stressing about it? And it was affecting the way I would enjoy my training. It was like, I felt forced to train. I was forcing myself to go to these gyms.
Like you was losing the love for it.
I was losing the love and joy for it. And I told myself when I first started, don't ever let this not be fun. This needs to be fun for me. And I do remember that, but for whatever reason, it wasn't fun because I'm putting this insane pressure to win. I don't know why, but now something during my healing and during all of the realization, self-acceptance and all of that, I realized back in November when you started this podcast, why I think it clicked or something clicked in me. So, how we were earlier in this conversation, we were talking about growing up in a toxic household, and there was no love. So dancing I realized, or something made sense, that dancing replaced my parents, in that because when I got into dancing, I was good at it. And I was good at it fast. And for whatever reason, it was something that gave me attention, gave me validation, allowed me to be heard, seen, that mattered, was someone important. I got applause. I got compliments.
It's showing you love.
And showing me love. And, my parents, and again, I'm not blaming them because this is how they were raised. My parents have never said I love you to me growing up. Mm-hmm. They've never done, and they don't it's just and even till this day, when I hug them, it feels like, okay, I'm doing this because I'm their daughter, but I never feel like they want to hug me. Mm-hmm. I feel, anyway, that's another story. So I was like, wow, I've been into dance and just kind of realizing like, wow, I'm good at it because I get this applause, I get this attention, I thrive, I do well at it. And, but I realize I'm using that as what's the word? It's filling a void for the love I didn't get from my parents.
Yeah, so I don't even want to say the word crutch, but something along those lines is like, I use this, like you said, since I wasn't getting this, dance filled in that void.
Yeah. So if I sent the love I wasn't getting growing up from my parents, I got that from dance. Mm-hmm. And so I was so addicted to the attention, the love, the validation, being seen, being heard, being someone that mattered, that it's like, okay, I feel like the trophy's going to give me that. Mm-hmm. I was chasing it because it's just another way for me to chase what I didn't get from my parents.
Exactly.
And so I had to realize like, okay, let's say I do get a win. Let's say I do get a trophy. And I have won before, but I was like obsessed for whatever reason. I was like really obsessed winning certain battles. And let's say I get it. Okay, I'll get it for 2 days. It's done. Then what? Then I'm going to want another one. So it's just like, that's why it's like, okay, this is going to be a cycle. So it's not the trophy that's going to heal me. It's me.
Right.
I need to heal me.
Exactly.
I need to heal what's going on here and here. And I need to like heal things that are going on so that I know I am enough. Because I felt like, I only am enough if I am a winner. Mm-hmm. I am only enough if I have so many followers on social media. Right. And if I get so much, like my mind was going crazy.
Right. But that was also because of your upbringing.
Sure. And well, that part of it. And right. I'm going to also say, because I think with, the social media culture, there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
But so I do my best to try and stay grounded and try to stay true to who I am and not be obsessed with numbers. So anyway, so last November, that really taught me like, okay, the trophy's not going to heal me. Mm-hmm. And so now I had to, and I feel like that changed and shifted the entire trajectory of where I want to be for breaking. Mm-hmm. And so I was able to now kind of like take a step back, be like, okay, what do I need? What do I need to do so I could find joy again and still execute in a way that brings me joy and that I can deliver, I can make impact.
Right.
For me, this is what I want for life, or this is what I would love to see. It's okay if I don't win, and it's okay if I'm not a champion, but I think I have the ability to redefine what it means to be a champion, that it doesn't have to be a trophy.
Right, because it's more so, what is a champion to you?
Exactly. So I want to be able to show the world like, okay, you don't have to always have a trophy, but like, what kind of impact are we making? How are we giving service to others?
Right.
How are we being a role model? What kind of integrity do we have? Because there's a lot of champions out there where they have, there's a lack of integrity going on. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But they're just amazing, but then when that skill's done, now what?
Right.
So anyway, so that's sort of the realization, like, oh shit, I realized when I realized that dance was the filling the void to feel love from my parents. And there's a lot of shifting in my emotions, my mindset that is still going on so that I can now feel that I'm enough for me.
And I also, that also brings me to my next question. That made me think like, so with you growing up and not really experiencing so much love from your family, how did that affect your relationships, like your personal relationships?
Okay, this could be long, but I'll say this. In every relationship...
You're going to be one of the ones I got to bring back on here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring you back on here.
Every relationship I had from the start until maybe my late 20s was very like, God, I don't want to say every single one, but for the most part, it was bad. Like, and not bad in a way like, oh, they didn't. It's just, okay. Let me reverse that really quick. Not every relationship was bad. The way I showed up in the relationship could have been better. Some people that, came into my life were really good, but I wasn't in the right place to be the best for them.
Right.
Or it's vice versa. I wanted something, but I was attracting the wrong people.
Right.
So I didn't learn, and I didn't, I grew up in a space, again, rest in peace to my dad, but this is the truth, and this is unfortunately the truth for a lot of Filipino families. My dad just didn't treat my mom well. Like, he would say like, your mom's ugly,
out of pocket shit.
Like, yeah, just out of line stuff, like your mom's ugly and your mom's dumb and things like that. And I'm like,
yo,
that's
my mom, yo.
But it's like, but I'm hearing this, and even to the point where my grandma, so my dad cheated on my mom. And he had 2 kids, and these are the 2 siblings that I have today that my mom raised. Okay. And when I found out, I was really upset. And I remember I was upset, and my grandma goes, oh, it's okay that your papa, it's okay. Your lolo means grandpa in Tagalog. Your lolo had other women, but he comes home to me at night. And I was in 6th grade when she said this to me. And so
and that's almost prepping you to be like, this is what it's supposed to be. It's straight.
But it also showed me, and of course I'm realizing this later, that's how my dad was raised.
Right.
Because look at the standard my grandma set on my dad. That, oh, it's okay.
Yeah, but he's coming home to me.
Yeah, but that's and unfortunately in older generation.
They even got songs like that in the 80s and 90s. Like them songs, they got like, oh, as long as he coming home to me. And like, I remember listening to a song on 90.5, bro. And I was like, they were saying that stuff like, that's crazy. Yeah. I like this song, but that's crazy that you're saying that.
So anyway, I grew up where that was normal and acceptable in relationships. So anyway, there was just a lot of like cracks and holes and things I didn't learn about. And it wasn't necessarily like even attracting the wrong people, but it's also like my self-worth.
You just wasn't even right yet.
Yeah, I wasn't even right. But I was just like, filling the void because I didn't have this love growing up. And, how can I was like, compromising who I am just so I could be that, so I'm not alone. Like all of that was involved. And again, it's just like every relationship is like, okay, how can I be better? How can I be better? How can I be better? And thankfully now, I am blessed with Joshua and someone who's also significantly helped me in my healing. And I think we're a great team. And, he also breaks, so it's really nice that we get to share that together. But, it's something that even though I felt like I just had like really shitty upbringing when it comes to relationships as well, I know that I have a lot of lessons to share with people who ask. Right. So whenever people have need advice, or like whenever people like, Mel, they have boundary issues, I'm like, hey, look, you got boundary issues. Right. You're attracting these type of people. It's not them, it's you.
Right. And you've been through it, so you can speak on that.
Well, what I noticed that happens a lot is there's a tamales lady.
Oh, hey. I love to.
Yeah.
She's singing?
No, so that's the tamales lady. I don't know if you
hear. She said like, tamales, elotes. Yeah. Oh, she gonna come, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
You ain't lying. She right there.
It's okay.
She keep on walking. Though.
Okay.
She going. Yeah.
But we love her. She's, since I've lived here, she comes all same time, like between 7 and 8 o'clock.
Oh, she's on. Oh, yeah.
And I buy them from her.
Yeah. So she's on her grind.
Yeah. She's been here. She's been doing that since like 2015, and I'm sure since I lived here.
Probably her mom did this.
Yeah.
For real.
So, but yeah. So anyway, so with all the relationship stuff and when people have conversations with me and feel safe to share their, concerns with me, now instead of blaming outside circumstances, it's really within.
Right.
It's because like sometimes when issues happens because we're projecting or whatnot.
You know what you got to work on more so.
Yeah.
With you growing up, not growing up, transferring into the B-girl, like being a B-girl scene.
Yep.
What was that like for you being a woman transitioning into that?
Oh man. Okay. I feel very fortunate because I came in what I think they call the rise of the B-girls. So, you know, when breaking first started and, you know, even breaking that, you know, during the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, it was predominantly men. And there was always like, you know, token B-girl or not a lot of B-girls. And if there was a B-girl, it's because it was someone's boyfriend.
And token is like
just the one B-girl,
right.
you know what
exactly.
I mean? Like the one B-girl in
exactly.
the crew. And even this is hearing stories, not because I lived in it, but just hearing stories that they would pin B-girls against each other. You know, like, hey, you know, hey, there's that B-girl that you're gonna, you know, you can battle her, like something like. And even when battles happen, they would always get the B-girl against the B-girl instead of just like put a skill against skill.
Right.
But, you know, when I came into it in 2016, I feel like that was the rise of when B-girls started to get a lot of opportunities. B-girls are starting to be highlighted. B-girls are starting to get in positions of power, like judging, hosting, exhibitioning, just being highlighted more rather than just B-boys being highlighted. And so, you know, shouts to a lot of the B-girls, Asia One, Baby Girl, you know, Honey Rockwell, you know, Anna Rockefeller from New York. A lot of the B-girls are paved the way so that I can experience a positive, so I can have a positive experience because not a lot of people had, or B-girls before me they said it was really hard.
Right.
So I feel very lucky that, because I feel like, oh, everyone's nice, everyone's supportive. There's safe spaces for B-girls. There's B-girl communities. You know, there's a lot of support. Everyone's cheering for each other. It's not like, you know, going on. Like it's very positive and healthy. So I came into it at a really good time. But I know that it's because the B-girls before me created that. Yeah.
Have you had one of the experiences, whether it be animosity or just competition, where you had this between, whether it be between you and a guy or you and a female, where it kind of got a little aggressive?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's always competition, and there's always like aggressive energy. My personality is not like that. So I don't attract that kind of energy or attract those kind of people. If they want to be aggressive, they can, but I'm not gonna respond to it.
Right. I'm not
like,
gonna reciprocate.
I'm just like, okay, be mad. I'm just gonna still dance, you know, but I'm not gonna be mad. So, but you see that, and you know, sometimes you see fights happen, but you know, I think sometimes it's just like they just can't control their energy or their emotions. You see that happening all the time, and you know, to be honest, it's kind of interesting. People want to see that drama. They want to see like that fire, you know. Or sometimes people, you know, give that, you know, aggressive energy only in the battle, and then when they're done, they're friends.
Like, oh,
so you see that,
almost like basketball sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a basketball fan. I'm not too familiar with the culture, but
just possibly. Giving that type of energy. But after the game, it's like, no, we good. We good. Yeah. And for you, what has been like, I would say, one of the hardest moves that you've been trying to do in this choreography experience, and that you have now done? And then the other question is that you still haven't been able to figure out how to do.
Okay. So there's a move called the windmill, which is, to me, the ABC of breaking, like the basic of basic power move. And I'm still having a hard time with it. I used to be embarrassed to be like, man, I don't got my windmill yet, and I'm in it for like 7 years already. But it's okay. I'm like, so what? So what? I can dance.
I could do other shit.
I could dance, and some of you guys can't dance.
Right.
You know,
some of y'all ain't even got a rhythm. You know?
Come on,
let's
who you
be
talking
real.
to? You know, like seriously. So it's okay. It's okay. I don't got my windmill, and I'm okay with it. I will.
She let you know, like, I will have it.
I will. And I will have it. But I'm working on it. Right now, I'm actually, so, you know, I feel like in order to really like get the results we want to get, we need to like only focus on that. So if I wanted to get my windmill, I need to be, or I should be focusing my energy just on that and like building my body so that I could be strong, so my muscles could be strong to do that move. But right now, I'm actually just training footwork because end of May, I'm gonna fly out to Seattle and enter this, it's called a footwork battle. That's the category. It's just called the footwork category. And where it's just footwork.
Mhm.
So that's it's gonna be in Seattle, and it's hosted by Massive Monkeys. It's their anniversary jam.
Mhm.
That's gonna be my first footwork battle, and I
Right.
remember telling myself last year, by the end of this year, I'm gonna enter a footwork battle. So this is a battle that like people from around the world fly out
This
to
is some big- this
enter.
is
So this
big.
is big.
Yeah.
This is my first one. I'm not expecting anything out of it, but I do know that I've already leveled up in footwork just to even train towards this.
Right.
So regardless of the outcome, I'm already better.
Right.
Like better for myself.
Yeah.
You know.
Mentally and physically, you've
For
already
sure,
come a
100%.
longer way than
Yeah.
where when you first thought of, oh, this is what I want to do.
For sure.
You've
For
obviously excelled.
Yeah, for sure. And this is probably the first time where like I only focused on footwork, and it's been like 2 months.
Mhm.
Because usually when I prep for a battle, I'm doing other things, and I'm like, I'm not too focused on like I'm not too focused on my rounds or my arsenal. I'm just training.
Mhm.
But this is the first time where I'm like focused on footwork.
Right.
And this is where I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it means to see.
Mhm.
That's what we need to do this year.
Exactly.
Everyone's different,
Right.
but this is what worked for me.
And were there any dancers who inspired you like, that's what I want to be like? Or it's like I picked up from multiple.
Well, okay, that's interesting you say that. So there are dancers who I look up to that know how to dance, but I don't know their personality.
Mhm.
Like one of my favorite dancers to watch right now, his name is Supreme. He's from the Ruggeds, and I believe I don't know which country in Europe, but he's, it's a really popular breaking crew in Europe, but he's someone really fun for me to watch. But then, who I like to watch are dance breakers who are 40 and over and still killing it.
Mhm.
Because I want to know, what are you doing
That you still getting down
that
like
you
that.
can still get down like that and recover and enjoy and kill it and rep and they're doing it.
Mhm.
So I'm drawn to those people.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more like that's inspiration because that's
Oh yeah.
what I'm trying to do.
because I want to be in my 60s still killing it in the ciphers.
Yeah.
And I know I will.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's inspiration right there.
Yeah.
And you knowing that's your goal and that's what
Yeah.
you're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm gonna win everything in my 60s, but I know I'm still gonna be able to make impact in my 60s.
And plus, you got past that. I need a win for me to feel good.
Yeah,
anyway.
no,
That's already past you. Like
Yeah.
I already know that's not what's goes because you're gonna continue to need a win. It's more so. What am I doing to help these other people and inspire?
Yeah.
That's helping you to be better.
And I think, the wins will happen, but I'm not just, it's gonna happen, but I'm not focusing on
Right.
the win.
It's more
I'm
to
focusing
it.
on me
Exactly.
getting better,
Mhm.
that I am enough, there's self-acceptance going on, that I love me.
Mhm.
That's what I'm focusing on.
See, and that's it right there. That's another gem. I love me. Y'all need to know that because that's another one for real. And that kind of, and before I even get you out here, we talked about it earlier. The crystals.
Oh, yeah.
The crystals and the good energy.
Yes.
What brought you to the crystals?
Well, okay, so it's so fun. My husband, he's a Reiki healer. He's a psychic. He does tarot. He does energy healing.
He gonna have to be somebody else we get on here.
I'm sure he would love to be on this podcast.
For sure.
So when I met him, his main source of, his main business was just wrapping crystals. And this is an example. I know you can't really see it, but I'm wearing a moldavite that my husband wrapped. And so this is like his business. He wraps crystals and he sells them and he does really good. He thrives in it really well. And it wasn't until maybe 2 years ago that I was like feeling, when I was like, there was a point where the early stages of me like, wait, this ain't it for break. Something's going on. Like
Right.
I'm working hard, but something's going on.
Inner energy.
And so I'm like, okay. And I asked Joshua, just talking to him about it. And he mentioned you should consider like working with crystals.
Mhm.
And so I started and he created a monster. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
'cause
Like
now
I'm like, it's everywhere.
I'm in it.
Yeah. I mean, like even right behind you, I know you can't really see, but I love Hello
Oh,
Kitty.
yeah, all these.
So
Oh, damn.
I mean,
You gonna have to hit that.
No, I got. Like, I'm
Oh, she not
B-girl
playing.
mellow kitty sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see me out there as B-girl mellow kitty. So, but yeah, I mean, I love Hello Kitty. I love crystals, and it really does change the space. It really helps me stay grounded. I'm a true believer of having them in my life, and I know people sometimes are skeptical, and when they're skeptical, it's one of those things like you have to have a connection with it in order for it to work with you. If there's no connection, it's not going to work. Right. So if you're like, crystals, whatever. Okay, well, yeah, then it's not going to do it. It's not going to serve you. You need, like, if you want to have healing, crystals are an option, but you need to learn how to connect with them or research them and find something that, like, you know, that you feel like you can connect with.
What are one of your favorite crystals?
Well, right now, I love vanadinite. It's not a lot of my vanadinites in the corner. Right. But I do love, I'll say this. It's not necessarily my favorite, but I am on a hunt looking for a erythrite. It's a rare crystal. I actually found this at a place called the Philosopher's Stone in Ocean Beach. Mm-hmm. But I'm on a hunt to find like a nicer piece. But I really like danbarite. I like vanadinite.
Before you even get off that, why you want to find that one? What's that do for you?
Oh God, I can't even tell. It's so I can't tell you the exact healing properties, but during my whole, like, you know, as I'm healing, all the things that it says that it's meant to heal is what I need. So again, I can't say verbatim, but it's like, you know, things that I know I need to work on. And it's called erythrite. And if anyone is like listening and wants to look it up, it's ERY erythrite.
And if that wasn't right, y'all could Google it.
Yeah, there you go. Shit. It's like a purple maroon. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And before I get you out of here, let everybody know where they can find you, anything else you got coming up, anything like that.
Yes. You can find me on Instagram, BgirlMel, TikTok, Melissa Adao. And, you know, and if I can just say thank you, Mike, for bringing me in. Thank you for giving me the space to share my story and have a really safe conversation with you about things that are vulnerable.
And I appreciate you even coming on and be comfortable to be speaking to me.
Yes, thank you. And I hope for anyone watching that, you know, whatever you take away from this, that you find inspiration and impact for your own life, that you're never too old, you're never too late, and to heal and to go to therapy.
That was a lovely way to wrap that up. And with that being said, it's been another episode of the Bigg Umbrella Podcast, and it's a wrap.
Peace.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love your energy. Oh my God. Thank you. I love your energy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, let's get some tacos, nigga. Can we really get some tacos? You trying to get some tacos? Let's get some tacos, nigga.